Hello and welcome back to another video here on Aviator Records. Today I've got some really cool records that I've bought in the last month basically. Two of which come from Vinyl Me Please, the vinyl subscription club. So yeah, you've seen the thumbnail. Let's go. The first one I'm going to show is the idler wheel is wiser than the driver of the screw, and whipping cords will serve you more than ropes will ever do, by the glorious Fiona Apple. I love this album. Came out in 2012. It's Fiona's fourth album, and so this is the Vinyl Me Please exclusive edition on black vinyl. Yeah, and it's got this really cool, I don't know if you can see it, it's got this really cool sort of gloss on it. Yeah. So this is not my favorite Fiona Apple album. I'm gonna talk a bit about that later. But it's definitely one of her best albums. I mean, the production on this is amazing. I love the percussive elements that she continued with on her fifth album, Fetch the Bolt Cutters. So I love those percussive elements. There's also some field recording, there's some sound of footsteps and stuff on this, which is really cool. And on Fetch the Bolt Cutter, she used the sound of her dogs, barking. So I love that more experimental side of Fiona Apple, because this is a pop album, obviously, but it's alternative at the same time, I would say. It's not your typical 2010s pop album. Fiona Apple really is unique and special in her own way, and that's why I love her so much, and I think that's why so many people love her music. And so yeah, I love this album, and my favorite tracks gotta be Every Single Night, obviously. Super good song. Valentine is phenomenal. Werewolf, Hot Knife, Anything We Want. Let's see. Daredevil is amazing. Jonathan is on here. Just a really good, solid pop album, and it's beautifully done with this thick cardstock sleeve, and it's even got a printed inner sleeve that I could show. Just very, very fun. So yeah, very glad to add this to my collection of Fiona Apple records. My plan is to eventually get them all on vinyl, and then we'll see. Maybe I'll get some CDs by her, but yeah, it's just a treasure of music from Fiona Apple. So yeah, that was the first album. Here's the record. Let's see if it'll focus. Yeah. Anyways, there's the label. Next up, we have another Fiona Apple record from Vinyl Me Please. And this is actually my favorite Fiona Apple record that she's made. And so this is Tidal, which is her debut album from 1996. And what makes this album so special for me is that she was only like 17 or 18 when she made it, which is just mind-blowing to me, because I'm 18 and I would never be able to make something this good. You know, I don't know much about making music, but I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be able to come close to this. Um, and it was also the first Fiona Apple album that I heard, you know, because I like to listen to um, a new artist's discography in chronological order. So I like to start with their first album and then move on from there. And so naturally I started with Tidal, and I was just blown away by the sound, you know, by her so unique and strong voice. Production was amazing. Um, and just the songwriting, the lyrics that she's put together, they are so striking, so vivid, and so amazing. Just yeah. And so I was blown away when I first heard "Sleep to Dream," and then just it just got better and better, basically. And so yeah, I think you can see why this is my favorite album by her. Um, and yeah, it's a beautiful pressing. This thing comes in a lovely, lovely gatefold with some pictures of Fiona there. Here's the back, just lovely. If you don't have this, just pick it up. I think it's still available from Vinyl Me Please. And here's the little booklet that comes with it. Naturally, with a Fiona Apple record, you know, with her amazing lyrics, you'd want to be able to read them. And so it comes with this beautiful booklet. Just really well made. I'm very happy with this, to have this in my collection. I've been wanting it on vinyl ever since I first heard it. I was like, this would be amazing to have on vinyl. But sadly, it wasn't available at that time. But you know, when it came back in stock at Vinyl Me Please, I was like, I gotta have this. Um, and I know their albums can be a bit expensive, um, especially you know with shipping to Sweden, it's quite expensive. But with an album this good, and being one of my favorite albums of all time, I knew that I had to have it. You know, and the Idler Will was a bit of a bonus, really. And so yeah, let's continue with the third record, which is Depeche Mode's Ultra. Another 90s album came out in 1997. And this is actually my favorite Depeche Mode album. You know, I know a lot of people love Violator. They love their songs of faith and devotion. You know, Music for the Masses, Black Celebration, and all of those albums are great. You know, but this album is just so unique, so special, because it was the Depeche Mode album that almost didn't happen. You know. Because in 1995, Alan Wilder left the band, and then in 1996, Dave Gahan, the lead vocalist, almost died of an overdose, and so the band was really struggling at this time. Um, but eventually, we got this album, and fortunately, it's one of Depeche Mode's greatest albums, in my opinion. Um, yeah, what can I say about it? I mean, it's just really, really solid. Um, here's the track list right there. My favorite song from this album is obviously Home. I think it's one of Depeche Mode's greatest songs. It's so beautiful. I'm I'm really a sucker for strings, and so the string arrangements on Home are just so breathtakingly beautiful. And I'm a bit of a Martin Gore fanboy as well. So yeah, I love his vocal performances, and I think on Home he really delivers. He really shines with his fragile voice, you know, that only Martin Gore can do. Um, and I also think the songwriting, this being a difficult time for the band, the songwriting really, you can really see it in the way the songs were written. They're quite dark, but they also have a certain optimism about them. You know, like Insight, and Home. There's a certain warmth to this whole album. Um, so while it was a difficult period for the band, they still really managed to put out some great music. And obviously you also have It's No Good on here, which is a classic Depeche Mode song, also phenomenal. Barrel of a Gun is on here. Sister of Night is also a really underrated song, I think, by Depeche Mode. So beautiful. Um, and what else? You've got Free State, which is pretty cool. Um, kind of reminiscent of Personal Jesus. So yeah. And I think this is like the proper follow up to Violator, basically, because Songs of Faith and Devotion was, I liked the album, but it just never hit me the same way as this did. You know, it's more of a rock album. It's very 90s sounding, and this thing is as well. But I just love the production on this, by Tim Simonon. But yeah, Songs of Faith and Devotion, it just never got inside of my heart. You know, I like it as an album, and there's a lot of good songs on there. But yeah, to me this is the ultimate Depeche Mode album. Yeah, and it comes in this beautiful, very matte sort of sleeve. Feels very exclusive. This is the 2016 reissue on Mute. Comes with a little essay written by Daniel Miller, the owner and founder of Mute Records, who has always been very involved with Depeche Mode, and so really cool stuff to have. So yeah, there you have it. That's Ultra by Depeche Mode. To add to my ever-growing Depeche Mode collection. So yeah, that about concludes this video. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye.